Hey, MCE crew, you know how I'm always preaching about achieving financial independence and how I'm always telling you that the government and the corporations, they don't care one whit about you. Don't care about you, your family, your future, what you got going on. You saw that in 2020 when the governors came in and shut down businesses just capriciously and ended the livelihoods of millions of Americans, ended businesses. My wife and I know several businesses that just went out of, couldn't do it anymore. They just couldn't survive it. Okay, gone. All right. And guess what? Our governor here in Maryland, Larry Hogan, he closed businesses down. Oh man, this guy got up on his soapbox because he wants to be a congressman or a senator too. So he thinks that his political career is well served by destroying the financial lives of Marylanders. And he got up on his soapbox and was like, "Wear the damn mask." Hey man, you might talk to your wife like that, and she might, react in the way that you want her. But this guy's talking to adults. Okay, this whole thing where these politicians dropped the mask, no pun intended, and came out as tyrannical egomaniacs, all right, that they're very reluctant to put that mask back on. And I say that to let you know that there's never been a time where it's been more clear that you are on your own. The Fortune 500, Washington, your state, your local government, don't care about you. These people think that because they want a popularity contest, that it gives them some sort of authority over your very life, when in fact, it just gives them the responsibility to represent you, to act as the representative of the people. They have totally forgotten that. And let me give you a prime example. And I want you to remember this as we go through this article. If the United States doesn't care about your life as a United States citizen, it certainly does not care about your financial wherewithal or your economic future. U.S. has no plans to rescue Americans, Afghans, stranded behind Taliban lines outside Kabul in Afghanistan. Now listen to me, okay? Not rescuing Americans. And you might say, well, what are Americans doing over there? Working, humanitarian efforts, all sorts of things, okay? People move around the world. And when something goes topsy-turvy in one of these, regions, it has been the tradition of the United States to go in and get our citizens out of there, okay? Well, they've been told that that's not possible right now. We're going to get into this. But what's really egregious and really eye-opening about this is they've said not only don't we care about our own citizens, but the Afghans that actually helped us out in the last 20 years, who pretty much put their lives on the line and acted as interpreters or police or members of the Afghan military that the United States set up, those people are marked for death. Their families are marked for death. And in a lot of instances, death is going to be preferable to the types of treatment that these people may encounter at the hands of the Taliban. So let's get into this and give you a demonstration of why you need to become financially independent, because your government does not care about you at all. You have got to achieve financial independence so that you will be able to take care of you and yours. Do not rely on this government. U.S. has no plans to rescue Americans or Afghans stranded behind Taliban lines outside the Kabul airport. Now, it is extremely egregious, it is outrageous that American citizens are being told by their government that there will be no rescue for them if they're trapped behind Taliban lines. Okay, that blows me away. That absolutely just flabbergasts me. And then they go on to say, hey, all you Afghans that actually helped us out during the past 20 years, who put your life on the line to act as interpreter, teacher, what else? Police officer, member of the Afghan army, all of that. Hey guys, sorry. Tough luck. Tough shit. You're going to have to make it to the airport the best way you know how. Now, for these Afghans, many of them aren't going to be able to get there, and the reprisals will be severe. These people are going to be killed. Let's just be flat out honest about it. And if it's a quick death, that will be great, because they're going to be subject to torture. I don't even want to go into what the women over there are subject to at the hands of the Taliban. So if you collaborated in any way, you and your family are marked for death and worse. And the United States is just saying, hey, look, oh well. During a Wednesday press briefing, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff General Mark Milley said the U.S. military presence in Afghanistan has the capability to extract some Americans in extreme circumstances. Let me interpret that for you. It means that if you donated to the right politician, or if you are related to or friends with, or maybe you went to Harvard with the right person in the bureaucracy, we will send a Black Hawk helicopter, a fleet of them, with a lift sticker in the window to get you from wherever the hell in Afghanistan you are. Let's go on. But we don't have the capability to gather up large groups of Americans who cannot get to the U.S.-controlled airport in Kabul after the Taliban seized near control of the country over the weekend. Okay, so if you are there as part of some humanitarian aid effort, or if you were there driving trucks or teaching English, and you're an American, I really hope you can get to the airport, because if you can't, then I don't know what to tell you. This is what the United States of America is telling her own citizens. Now, if the United States, this government, cannot come to your rescue to save your very life, do you really think they are at all concerned about your financial future? Not in a million years. And it's pretty tragic, but it's true. Asked if U.S. forces would, quote, extract, unquote, Americans not able to reach the Kabul airport for fear of being stopped or taken by the Taliban, Austin responded, I would draw a distinction between extracting someone in an extreme condition or circumstance versus going out and collecting large numbers of American citizens. Dude, stop being a politician for just 5 minutes. The 5 minutes it would take for you to act like a human, okay, like an American Secretary of Defense, okay, and say, hey, look, if there are Americans in there, we'll find them, we'll go get them, we'll make sure they get back home. We are, after all, the U.S. military. We have the largest share of the budget, or one of the largest shares of the budget. We got all of this equipment. You guys call us heroes. You stand up for us at the ball games. Yeah, we'll go get these Americans. Nope. He went on to say, we don't have the capability to go out and collect large numbers of people. They have the capability to destroy the planet several times over, but they don't have the capability to go and make sure Americans that were over there working on behalf of them, in most cases, are rescued from this situation. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And as a taxpayer, you should be incensed that this guy has the audacity to get up there and say some crap like this. Austin's admission that U.S. troops have no plan for large-scale evacuation efforts outside the Kabul airport perimeter comes after reports that the Taliban had set up checkpoints around the country and blocked access to the Kabul airport, in some cases beating and whipping people attempting to get through. Rather than retrieving Americans, the U.S. State Department is relying on the assurances of the Taliban that they will let Americans through. Now, in the previous paragraph, they just said the Taliban was taking people and whipping them and beating them at the checkpoints. So you're going to rely on assurances from these guys? This is insane. It goes on to say the State Department is working with the Taliban to facilitate safe passage of American citizens, U.S. passport holders. General Milley said, how confident would you be to show a U.S. passport at a Taliban checkpoint? Would you really feel confident doing that? All right, I'm gonna read this last paragraph and then I'm gonna end this because it's starting to get really sickening. These guys, one of the reasons it turned me off big time to corporate America was the corporate speak. Okay, and DC has this corporate speak that they use, gravitas and shit like that. Okay, Austin said, we will continue to coordinate and deconflict with the Taliban to make sure these people that need to get to the airfield have the right credentials to ensure passage. So you see that? The Taliban has been checking these credentials. If they have them, they've allowed them to pass. They've allowed them. Past tense. No guarantee that they will continue to do that. All of this is in the hands of the people that are pulling people out of cars, beating them and whipping them. Okay? Firing into crowds of protesters right now with their brand new M4 rifles supplied by you, the American taxpayers. Look at the pictures. These guys don't carry AKs anymore. They got the nicest M4s. And good trigger discipline, too, denoting that they have received training. This is a disaster of epic proportions, but it does illustrate what I have been saying on this channel for a while now. Do not rely on this government for your financial future. Look at what they're doing. Look at what the rich and the corporations are doing. We'll continue to do that to set strategy in terms of how we need to operate in order to move toward that financial independence goal. But reliance on these fools for that universal basic income, lower prescription drug prices, they screwed up healthcare, that whole thing. You've been given enough examples. Okay, this is just beyond the pale. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon.